And we missed it. Hi, welcome to AfterBuzz TV Spotlight On. Today I'm in studio with Renee Lawless. Now you might know her from the Haves and Have-Nots. You might know her from the touring production of Wicked, so cool, and you might know her from her crafts. Don't go away.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I love the clapping.
Yes, so much.
It makes me feel
so
so
many
good.
people are here today. It's great.
Know. People just can't wait for us.
Exactly.
I love it. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV Spotlight On. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm in studio with Renee Lawless. Thank you for joining me.
Oh, so happy to be here. Wore these earrings just for you.
Thank you. I have the same pair.
Exactly. Who knew?
Who knew? We're twins.
Twins.
Now, before we get going, Renee, where can everyone find you on social media?
They can find me at ReneeLawless.com or Ms. Renee Lawless on Twitter, Renee Lawless on Facebook, and I'm on Snap and Chat, but you know, what are you going to do? I don't look at it. And I'm Renee Lawless on Instagram.
Okay, great. And I am your host, Zoe Hewitt. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Zoe Said What. That's Zoe Said What. Now, jumping right in, January 3rd, the Haves and Have-Nots will be back for the 5th season already.
Yes! Can you believe it? I can't.
Yeah.
I'm like, 5 seasons. Where did the time go? Where did the time go?
Do you feel like you need to pinch yourself that you've sort of lucked onto this amazing Tyler
I pinch
Perry show?
myself every day. I'm very blessed. This just happened in a miraculous way. Everything about this show has just been incredible, and I just don't. I still 5 years in. I'm here with you today, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm doing an interview about that. It still has not, I guess, fully hit home. It still surprises me every day.
And when you first went in for this audition, you had no idea that it was going to be a new Tyler Perry show, right? You didn't know anything about it.
No, when I submitted for it. I submitted for it, yes. When I first looked at it, I thought, I didn't know it was Tyler Perry. And then when I later found out about it, I went, oh, he's never going to hire me. I'm just some little theater chick, And it just all just snowballed into this thing. And next thing I know, oh, well, I'll just submit. And, oh, I got the audition. Oh, I got a call back. Oh, now you want to offer me the role? What? It was all those things.
And for Oprah Winfrey Network, too. I mean, what a cool network. And the big question, have you met Oprah?
Yes, and now I can say several times. Ooh. I think the last time I was here with you guys, I had really only met her about twice. And now I can call her, Oprah. She calls me Renee. So now we're on O and R time, But the first time I met her, I was just the deer in headlights. I could not phonate. I could not speak. I was just a total idiot. For me to be speechless is a big deal. So I was, but she's a cool lady.
And so how did it happen? I mean, Oprah is such an icon. Was she on set? Is that where you first met her?
The first time, I am such a dweeb. Everybody would be like, ding, ding, ding. We were all called on set one day, the whole studio, not just the cast. And all these people around, and I'm like, Oprah's, what? I was ding, 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 did not put two and two together. I'm just a dweeb. And she walks in the door, Mr. Perry came out and was just like, opens the door to the set and goes, and here, and she walked in. I was just like, I was frozen. I was like, what? What? Oprah's here? Which I should have figured out. Of course that was going to happen. So she did. The first time I met her, it was on set, yeah.
I mean, right. As the big boss, it's sort of silly, like, have you met your boss?
Exactly.
Yes, I've met my boss.
And duh,
But it's still, she's like this mythical creature.
Yeah. Now she's, because I've been blessed and privileged to meet her on several occasions now, she's not as mythical, but she's still a presence. When you're in the presence of Oprah, she's this kind of larger than life person. And I don't mean that in a physical way about her, just her energy, her presence is like, oh my goodness, Oprah's in the room type thing. So, and even when she can speak to you kind of to the side, you're still, I'm back to the pinching of myself. I'm talking to Oprah. What? You know.
Right. Oprah and I are going to be besties.
Exactly.
And Tyler Perry, too, he has a great reputation of really taking care of his casts, and
Yes,
he
he
works with
does.
people a lot, again and again as well.
Yes.
So did you feel like when you were signed on to the show and that it was specifically a Tyler Perry show that you were in for an especially good ride?
Absolutely. And I respect the man on so many levels. And the beauty of Tyler is that he is a actor's director, because he's an actor himself. And he's also comes from a large theater background. So myself and Angela Robinson and Crystal Fox, and John Schneider, those of us who also had an extensive theater background, he talks to us and he knows how to talk to each of us in a way that gets what he wants out of us, that same vernacular may not be used on a normal television show and or a movie set. But I felt immediately after meeting him, especially after the first day, 2 days, 3 days on set, that I was being taken care of. He's never going to put me in a situation that makes me uncomfortable, and if he feels that I'm uncomfortable, he will ask me. And he is very, he knows what he wants, and it's work, but he's also kind of a friend at the same time. So I knew with him that I was safe, that I was comfortable, and that this was just the beginning of bigger and better things.
And that's an interesting comment that you make, that he's your friend, but still he knows what he wants. So still in that boss situation, because even
He's
when
still my boss.
Exactly,
He's
and that's
still
an
my
interesting point, because a lot of times we think of people as like, oh, you're on set and you're bonding, but there is still a boss who you answer to,
Exactly.
and just like any other job, you can be friendly with your boss, but they are still your boss in the end.
Exactly.
And so when you're on set, do you participate? Do you feel like there's extra pressure on doing things like the prayer circles that he has beforehand?
No, but the prayer circles, there's no pressure because I'm a Christian and I love it. I live for that. I live for that prayer circle, because sometimes you show up to work, last thing you want to do is work that day sometimes. And I tell everybody, you know how he prays, the mood he's in that day. If it's this, then we don't talk to him very much that day. And if it's like blah 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 blah, then it's up there and praising the Lord and Jesus, then that he's in a good mood today. But he's not really in a bad mood that often. But no, there is no pressure. And there have been a couple of things that have gone on that some things that they're going to come up this season that he checked in with me, and he's okay. We're going to go there, and I go and he goes okay. Well, let's do it this way. And so there's no pressure on camera, and there's no pressure off camera. And no one is required to do that prayer circle. No one. And sometimes if I'm in the makeup room, I can't get there all the time. And he says that all the time. So it's no pressure whatsoever.
And so your character on the show also, so you're worth $50 million.
Actually, $250 million.
Oh,
We changed
excuse
last
me.
year.
Oh.
I gained another $200 million. I
Excuse me.
thought I'd say, it's okay, it's quiet. It used to be 50, and now we're
Yeah.
the company's doing well.
Yeah. What's another $100 million here and there?
Exactly.
But your character can't really trust anyone, right? You've got these walls.
No, I have walls.
You can't trust. So coming up in the new season, what sorts of exciting storylines are we going to be seeing? for your character?
Well, when we went off last season, I've just walked out of the room after shooting the district attorney in my living room floor 16 times, fixed the plant, and went upstairs. We're picking up basically where we left off. So it's the first 3 or 4 episodes, I feel like are right out of a Hitchcock movie. I mean, it's really intense, and I'm really looking forward to seeing them, because we shot them very quickly, and I was like, I really hope this looks good. But I think this upcoming season, not only for Catherine, but also for everybody else, is a season of change. There's going to be a lot of changes coming within everyone's life. We're still carrying over the old storylines, but things are shifting. Catherine has always been very independent, but you're going to see it even more now. You're going to see it from a lot of people. I think going not only is a season of change, Tyler Perry writes extremely well for women, and he always has. And he really wrote good women's stories this season. Not, men, you're still going to enjoy it. You're still going to love it. But women are taking back the power. And that's a good way to look at it.
And which is a nice fit, too, for the network. And you're right, he always does seem to write well for women. And with the gun, there are always all sorts of very strict regulations with prop masters and guns and making sure that things are safe on set. So before you could pick up that gun, what were some of the criteria, hoops that you had to jump through to make sure that things were safe?
Well, a previous season, I thought there was going to be a gun, and it got eliminated and moved to a different thing. So I had already gone to a shooting range to practice. They had already told me the type of gun that I would have had, and I didn't want to look like an idiot holding the gun. The prop master had come into my dressing room the day of the shoot to show me the gun that I had and everything about it, and to show me that it was in fact a fake gun. There was there's nothing in a chamber. There was nothing to even go down a chamber. So in other words, the tube is, or the chamber, whatever it's called, is blocked. And then in the moment, this is my little inside story. In the moment, I was trying to be really cool, and I'm supposed to stand up and shoot. And I purposely wanted to be the super cool dude who just stood up and just pointed one hand and just shot. Well, Mr. Perry calls cut and goes, "Stop, tell you never shot a gun before." And I'm like, "Yes, I have." And he's like, because he wanted me to do, the two-handed thing. So that was a stop. I'm really good with a rifle. I haven't done handguns. I mean, I grew up shooting rifles as a kid, but I had never really done much handguns. So there was, and not only all of this was done a couple of times, because even though I've been gone through it with the prop master, just for the safety of everyone on set, all of this has gone over again on set. It's already told to the prop master even talks to all the crew. I mean, it is, before I ever picked up that gun, we did it without the gun. So trust me, there's a lot of safety precautions taken on set at the time.
Yeah, I always think that guns on shows in that regard are very fascinating. A prop master once said, "Oh, you want to see a gun?" And I didn't realize they also have to have special certification and training just to have the gun safes. And I even felt intimidated. I had not held a gun before, and it was a real gun. And same thing, he showed me everything's empty, and holding it was a little intimidating, even though I was standing around a prop truck.
It's not a spray gun. It's not plastic. It's the real McCoy.
Yeah, which I think is something that a lot of viewers, I had always thought was the case. Like, oh, those are plastic guns that people are holding. They're not real. And the weight of it makes such a difference,
It does make such a difference. And I mean, when we see these action films and stuff, those are real rifles. When we see the military, those are real military, rifles. Because your body language is different based on the weight of that weapon.
Right. It's not just all pretend. It's like, I'll pretend this feels really heavy right
Exactly.
now.
Exactly. Like you're lifting a suitcase full of clothes and it's really got nothing in it.
Yeah. And so are you guys also on a condensed shooting schedule? I know some of his shows are go, go, go.
I mean, we've always been quickly like about an episode a day. I mean, when we first started out, we were doing about an episode in a day and a half, and then we went to an episode a day, and then we kept getting faster and faster. And we thought we probably would not have gotten, well, let me rephrase that. We went lightning speed last season, not because he necessarily wanted to go that fast, but we happened to be filming it just as the way the schedule landed in transition to the new studio that he purchased. And we had to shoot out sets from the old studio. Those sets were being moved, but they couldn't be torn down and moved in the time frame. So we were shooting out some sets. So consequently, a lot of that was condensed. And I mean, we did 23 episodes in 13 days. Wow. I mean, my first day on set was 70 pages, when the average day on set is 7. Right. So I mean, it was, I prayed, dear Lord Jesus, do not let that happen again this season. But it was one of those, it just had to be done. It wasn't planned that way. It's just the way it happened. And so I don't think we'll be going quickly, but not quite that quickly.
Not at such a breakneck speed.
No.
And when you go to Atlanta at this point, I mean, after 5 years of shooting, do you feel like you're going home? Like, are you familiar with the area now?
Oh, extremely. I grew up in the South. I grew up in the East. I mean, I had my best friend, I have one best friend that still lives there, and another one lived there for many years, and my goddaughter's there. I have
But I thought you were from Jacksonville.
I am Jacksonville, Florida, but I made friends. You know, in the East Coast, back in the day, when I was just a little girl, because I was born in Tennessee and we moved to Jacksonville, but my relatives are still in Tennessee. So you got in the car with your parents for the holidays and you drove up 95, 75, you got right to Tennessee, but you had to pass through Atlanta. You have to, you know, this is a thing on the East Coast. He says, when you die, you can't get to heaven unless you go through Atlanta.
I have not heard that expression.
That's a big East
funny.
Coast expression. All roads go through Atlanta. So Atlanta definitely is a home. Thought about buying a house there, and I'm this year instead I bought one in LA, but I'm probably going to eventually buy a house there. It is home. I have a home church there. I have a bunch of friends there that I can't wait to see. I know the malls better than I know the shopping here in LA. I know where to shop, where to go. I got it.
You're all set.
I'm all set.
Well, where's the mall to go in Atlanta then?
Oh, Phipps and Lenox. It's okay. Lenox Mall is big. It's and Phipps used to be is now getting my favorite because it's a little more laid back. Phipps is getting. I mean, Lenox is getting so large, but it's all in the Buckhead area. But there are some boutique areas that I like as well. And my favorite consignment shop. It's called. I always get it wrong. It's either Alexis's suitcase or Alex's suitcase or closet or something like that. But I know where it is. I don't remember the name of it, but I just know where I go.
Well, consignment finds too must be great for someone who loves DIY like you do. Are you always finding and repurposing things?
Oh, good Lord, yes. I mean, I'm the person that I must have two bags of probably 100 toilet paper rolls right now because I always repurpose. I make really good crafts out of toilet paper rolls. And now I have a whole canister on my thing because Hallmark Home and Family, which I've been privileged to be on a couple of times, has they challenged me with something and I took them up on it. So now I'm saving bottle caps. I've got a really good DIY for them. But I'm all about repurposing and recycling. Yeah, and I mean, there's very little I throw away anymore. It's really tragic.
So do all of your friends and family know that they're getting like a special Renee Lawless original at the holidays?
Some years, yes. This year, no.
Well,
No, this year, no. This year, they're lucky to get a present because if it's not online, they're not getting it. I mean, I've been so consumed. I've just purchased my first home a couple of months ago, and I've been moving in, and I'm glittery today because you cannot get Christmas glitter decor out of your life. It's in my hairline, everything. And I've been so much in that all of my crafting is gifts, which normally would happen, is not. Last year, I made some purses for people, but
So are you more of a sewer? What is your number one go-to crafting?
I used to be a big sewer. Now I'm more of the glue. Give me the hot glue gun and the thing, and I can make it happen. I've really been good with adhesives. I've really learned how many different adhesives do different things.
It is amazing how many
Between
different types
E6000 to Aleene's to, what is it? The Gorilla Glue and Elmer's, of course, and then super glue. I'm a super glue queen.
So basically in your house, in your spare room, that's going to be a crafting studio. Are you going to have like a
It's called an office, Miss. My whole closet is just like the craft closet. Yes, exactly.
Will you have about 50 types of adhesives then?
Exactly. I literally was unpacking some stuff the other day, and I have a whole shelf of adhesives. It's really ridiculous. I mean, I'm thinking, and then they have that. They call it that earthquake tacky stuff that you put on
earthquake putty.
Earthquake putty, which I love. So it's like on all of my pictures. I need to go through and start putting them on things because I have a feeling if we get a trimmer, I have a lot of things that are going to break really fast because I haven't put it on everything yet.
And I always think I should use that too. And I think like, oh, it'd be so good to stick stuff down. And I don't have anything stuck down.
No, I just moved and I had at my old apartment, everything was stuck down. I mean, to the point when I was packing to move, why isn't this moving? So well, this smells really good, but no.
At least, in the event of an earthquake, you would have been really well protected.
Exactly. Exactly. And I was here for 2 years. It's so funny when I visited LA the first time before I decided to move here, I was staying at a friend's, and that was my first earthquake tremor that I'd ever felt. But I've been here almost 2.5 years now, and that had one tremor. Wait, where's wood? We have to knock on wood somewhere. Oh, here, just little things, wood. Knock on wood.
Yeah. Yeah, and we haven't had much. I feel like I've woken up maybe in the night and gone like, oh, I think the room's moving. Okay.
Exactly.
Back to sleep.
I don't know.
But you've been very artistic your whole life. Like you went to Cincinnati College of Music.
Yes.
So, and then touring with like Wicked and Beauty and the Beast. I mean, that's amazing. That's something that people dream of. So how did you make that transition? And was everyone in college going, "Oh, I can't believe it. I wanted that."
Well, you mean as far as
Afterwards, when you started moving
when I
into
started
the,
moving into TV or into the musicals?
into the musicals, because that was your initial
Oh, okay, yeah.
jump, right?
Well, I've been singing my whole life. I was in church choirs and school choirs, and it was in the orchestra in high school. And I went to school to be a voice major. Got my master's was in opera studies. My undergraduate, I was going to be an opera singer, but I was still doing plays and musical theater. It was kind of a theater minor. In college, I went to a small university that my undergraduate at Stetson University allowed me the opportunity. I did 17 productions in 4 years. For an undergraduate person, that is virtually unheard of. And that's from plays, musicals, operas, whatever. And I didn't realize how fortunate I was until I got to graduate school at Cincinnati, where the undergraduates, unless you were in the musical theater department and you had to be a senior, really weren't getting a lot of on-stage time.
Oh, really?
And I thought, whoa, I made the right decision to go to a smaller university. But I was going to be an opera singer, and I was midway through my master's studies, and I just realized, even though God had blessed me with his voice, it just was not what brought me joy and happiness. And I was doing musicals on the side. I was still doing plays and acting. And I finally, when I walked away, although I've done an opera here and there and I still do concerts, I never really went back to that medium. I still pursued more of the musical theater, Broadway, that would hopefully catapult me into television and film. And took some time off and worked for the Mouse in Orlando. That big one with the big ears. And finally just made the move to New York and was very fortunate that I started performing regionally and nationally right off the bat and a lot of the regional theaters. And then landed the national tour of Beauty and the Beast and on to Broadway. And in the meantime, I had done some independent films. Before moving to New York, I had gotten my SAG card. I did a TV series with Dolly Parton called Heavens to Betsy that never really aired, sadly. She made a movie about it a couple of years later. But that kind of, I got the itch or whatever, realizing that's what I really loved. And Wicked came along, and when I decided to leave Wicked was around the time I started auditioning with the Have and Have Nots. It's something I was still pursuing that, but it was a difficult transition. I think it's easier for theater people that are in a Tony-winning show or have won a Tony they think, oh, you won a Tony, you can go and be a TV movie star. And I'm going to offend a lot of people by what I'm getting ready to say. Don't hold this against me, producers and directors in Hollywood. But it's much more difficult for people with a strong musical theater background. They do transition, but it's a harder road to hoe because unfortunately some of the cast and directors still see them in that musical theater light, unless they win the award. And then all of a sudden, oh, I guess you can, whatever. And so you basically have to pound the pavement and knock on the doors yourself. And once you break through, then you are, they think, oh, yeah, well, you can act. Okay, yeah, well, I always could. So thank goodness Tyler Perry did not have those barriers up and opened that door. And now other doors have opened up for me here in Los Angeles. And have appreciated. I do know casting directors out here appreciate the work ethic of a theater actor. So, no, back into your original question. I know I've been rambling.
No, not at all.
Nobody ever, actually, in what you first said, none of my friends or enemies, and when I say enemies, people that were jealous, in college or high school are surprised at my career at all because I was very focused. I always knew what I wanted. I always set out to do it, and they are like, wow, this is something you've been doing for as long as we've known you, and you're still doing it.
Well, that's a real compliment to you because that shows that you've really had this end goal in mind, whether there were some twists along the way, which there always will be.
Right, exactly.
You still had this same finish line, essentially.
Exactly. And I haven't hit that finish line yet.
I hope not.
What I mean? No. I still have miles to go before Before you sleep, exactly. And And another thing, people say, oh, you're just so successful. Yes, I have reached a modicum of success that a lot of people haven't. Been fortunate to be on Broadway. Been fortunate to be on 2 national tours. I'm on a hit TV show. I'm the star of a hit TV show. One of the stars. I'm not the star. But people say, what's it like to be successful? And am I successful? What is success? You know, we all have different levels of success, and people view success in different ways, you know. My actors union views success as someone who's successful is if they can maintain their health insurance.
Right.
So far, I've been maintaining my health insurance.
A
So I
success.
should be successful.
And that is interesting. It's sort of like the question of what does money mean to you? That to some people it means
I need
love.
more.
Some people, not you specifically.
I need more. I want Catherine money.
250.
Exactly.
You know, but to some people it means security. Some people it means love. So that it can, the concept of money can mean different things. So it's interesting. It's the same. The concept of success can mean
Exactly.
different things.
Exactly.
Where do you say, I've done it now? Because to me, just hearing you were on Broadway, I'm like, that's amazing. Broadway is the pinnacle of success.
And when I left, I was in the unemployment line the next day. The thing about it is our career, actors, whether you're in theater, whether you're in television, whether you are in film, it is a finite career. There are, for instance, who's on the red carpet this year or last year or the year before that you saw on the red carpet 10 years ago? Meryl Streep, period. Tom Hanks maybe get nominated for Sully this year, so Tom Hanks will come back on the carpet.
But not in the Golden Globes.
But not in the Golden
Yeah.
Globes. You haven't seen Julia Roberts. These people are no less talented. No less talented. They're still, but fortunately some of them have reached a level of success that they don't have to make a film every year, and they can choose not to.
Right.
But there are countless Academy Award winners out there that haven't even made another film in a while, or a TV show or something. And they're no less talented. But it is a fickle medium, and it doesn't mean that they're even not liked. They're still adored, and fans would pay money to go see them. But there is zero security in this industry. Zero. So unless you are, and I could be speaking out of turn, but I would assume, and also they're married, the Tom Hankses and the Jack Nicholson and the Meryl Streeps and people, they have amassed probably enough dollars and hopefully saved and invested wisely enough that they can go a time without shooting. And or they might have a spouse, you know, and they, you know, defer to the spouse or something. But that's a very small percentage of Hollywood. There's amazing actors out here. There's amazing actors in New York. And there are just as many people, you know, there are people that are working, and there's a lot of them out of work. And so that's why that success thing,
It's ever elusive.
it's ever elusive. It's ever elusive.
And I guess it's sort of like if you think you're there, you're never going to actually be. Right? It's always moving.
You're right. I think if we go back to, was it 2 years ago, Matthew McConaughey won the Academy Award?
I think you're right,
2 years
2
ago,
years
right.
now.
And his speech about how he's still never where he wants to be. I can't remember exactly, but it was something about he's always got something to strive for. And speaking of Matthew McConaughey, I still take class. I still take class to stay also to practice auditions and stuff like that. And it's a master class type level. And we had a party the other night, and I didn't see him, but I missed it because I was oblivious. But Matthew McConaughey was at this particular place that we were having our party, and spoke to one of the actors. And this young actor asked him, you're Academy Award winner, you're a father, you have these beautiful children, you've reached all this success. What makes you get up in the morning? And his response to that was something, he says, I wake up and I still have an eye on something. And I say it and I stake it. And I look and I have to find, I get up to a beautiful wife and children, but he still has his goals.
Right.
He still has things that he hasn't achieved, and he has to claim it when he wakes up every morning.
Right. You can't live for someone else. You may
Correct.
have a wonderful life, but that's not
Exactly.
enough. I
And
mean,
you know-
presumably I'm not Matthew McConaughey, but
No,
that's not
right.
enough. You need something of your own.
Exactly. You do. And you know, this town is it's an illusion. You know, people say, "Oh, there must be these big famous." That's not what it is. You know, it's a lot of things are an illusion, and you have to keep grounded. You have to keep your wits about you, or you can get wrapped up in all this, and you can get swept up, and that's all it is. It's just this big, you know, they're people. They go to the grocery store. They get dressed the same way. We get dressed the same way as anybody else. And we still have heartaches. We still have desires. We still have wants. And we are left, unless you reach that little 1% up there I told you about, you're kind of at the mercy of a lot of other people.
And I don't think that that's unique just to LA or even just to the
No.
specific industry. I
Industry.
feel like that no matter what your career is, it's always easy to look at someone who has been doing
Exactly.
it longer and who is more successful. And however,
Well, look at you in
personally-
broadcasting. Exactly.
However
Look at
different, yeah.
broadcasting. You know, the same thing what you're doing right now. You're a host, you're an interview, and you look at all the shows out on television out there, The View, The Real, The Chat, The Talk, the something, you know, and everything's a the something. And then you have, you know, the Jimmy Kimmels and the Conan and O'Briens and all those people out there. But you look at the longevity of some of them and look how rapidly these other shows hosts come and go. You know, and then especially, I'm going to get into trouble here.
Never.
Especially like in your medium, I'm hoping this is changing. But women more so than men have to worry about their appearance. How many gray-haired newscasters, women, do you see on television these days?
It is. It's a very different thing for a woman to age
Right.
than a man. And have you felt that as your career has progressed? And obviously everyone ages. That's just part of life, if you're lucky.
Right. I've had a pro and a con. I finally feel, praise God, that I am finally coming into my own. I've always been a character actor. And I finally, even though I don't really look my age, I have no problem telling people my age because I want to play my age. And I'm able to play a little bit younger than my age, and sometimes I get called in for a little older. But it's a juicy time, and I'm able to be viable, I feel like, by the same token, with the exception of theater, because I've got that established there. In this medium, a lot of people in this industry that are my age have been in this medium, in the TV film part, for probably a good 10 to 15 years. So they've aged. People have watched them age. So like the Julia Louis-Dreyfus, you know, when they start out younger and then they get older, then things are always going to be there because they've already established themselves. Now the pond is bigger, but the pond is there, but it's got a lot more fish my age in it. So the competition is greater for older women because the parts are fewer for older women, and they're going to go with what they know. So I have to work to convince somebody that I'm the person you need to have. So while I like being my age and while I like getting older and I just can't wait for some juicier roles to come, I realize that the fight is even going to be harder. But you know what? I'm convinced that I can change that. So
Absolutely, and I think things are changing. Also, as you had mentioned, some of the actors like Meryl Streep, as people are naturally aging, and I think audiences don't want to say goodbye to these people
No, they
either,
don't.
to these women, and same for the men too. But I think audiences don't want to say goodbye as much, and so there are more roles that are either being established by the actors as they are doing their own projects, or just sort of an openness maybe
Right.
to having more actors come in, I guess.
and more
or
and more
continue.
actors are doing their own thing now. They're charting their own production companies. They're co-producing the things that they want to see. You know, I can't think of her name. Martina Martindale. She's did The Haulers this recently, a beautiful film. And I have been a big fan of hers for so long. She's on The Americans, and she's a steadily working actress, but very underrated, highly respected. But I just think she's finally coming into her due, and she's been working for a very long time. But she's not that. She's like, she's kind of like that Kathy Bates character. It's not Hollywood glam. It's not overly character, but they're good. I mean, I could watch Kathy Bates every single day. And I don't, care if you're young and tall and skinny. That's not, they're a dime a dozen.
Right.
I want to see somebody giving me meat, I want to get in there,
And you're working on also doing your own projects in order to further that. You have an online show that you're working on right now.
Yes,
as well,
it's
right?
Renee's Way or the Highway. I know y'all have heard this before, and it had been put on the back burner for so long, and finally it's coming to fruition. I've had some scheduling delays due to my schedule, which is not a bad thing, but it's now blossomed into be. It was just going to be basically me doing a craft here and there and basically giving commentary on my own personal opinion about things, like a vlog. But now it's turning into not only a full-on DIY online series, but also I'm going to have a whole chapter of, the 12 months of Christmas type thing. It's going to be Christmas year round because that's just where I excel. As well as crafts, or as, my 2 cents worth on opinions about different things.
So do you spend a lot of time like searching Pinterest and other
Oh,
places?
I live for Pinterest. I live for Pinterest. As a matter of fact, I just had some shelves that these built-ins, not built-ins really, but these shelves I was going to put on either side of my fireplace. And I was going to have them custom built and da-da-da-da-da. And I literally was walking through IKEA for some completely unrelated matter one day and looked over and saw these shelves that were the perfect color, perfect. I went, oh my gosh, those are the shelves. I can do an IKEA hack off of Pinterest. And that's exactly what I did. And they've just been completed. I've got these 2 gorgeous shelves now, and you would never know I bought them at IKEA because I've completely hacked them with the baseboard and the cute little thing on the top. And sadly, that won't be on my blog because we already built it and we didn't record it. But I just totally lost my train of thought. I just totally rambled and forgot what you said.
Not at all, but and it is funny because IKEA has become known, I feel like, for not their product, but for what you can do with their product.
Exactly.
It's sort of a funny niche that they have started
Exactly.
to fill.
And I'm always, and I've come up with a couple, matter of fact, I have an idea for something, and I won't Google, I will go on Pinterest first and then Google it on Pinterest. If nothing comes up, then it's my idea. But a lot of times things will come up, but I make it my own. I start with their idea, but I turn it around either an easier way to do it or a more spectacular way to do it. But I live for Pinterest. It's pretty much gotten me through my home decor, fix-its. And then there's sometimes, if you go on Pinterest, it's just a picture, and they don't tell you how to do it. So I got to figure it out.
Right.
Challenge. It's always fun.
And you're working on a really cool project now. You're looking for some felt, right?
Yes, I bought these incredible things at I think a Lowe's or something like that for Christmas, and I thought I want to have this for year round. It's a Christmas themed window covering, and so I'm now I'm in search of this super thick. I mean, I found it online, sorta, but sorta not. Super thick felt that you can cut out and. Yeah, make like a thing. It's going to happen sometime. I don't know.
We'll see a stencil. It'll be up there.
It'll be up
Renee's
there.
Way or the Highway.
Renee's Way or the Highway. And don't go in there yet. You're just going to see my smiling face looking back at you. But yeah, it's going to roll out. And I've already done some pre-things. My favorite store, and I'm doing a shout out for them now, is called The Christmas Place in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And I spent 2 days prepping and a day filming there at the store. They were very gracious to allow me to come into their store and film because I just wanted to highlight how phenomenal this store is. It's where I buy a lot of my stuff, crafts and decor for Christmas. And after we had the fires in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge a few weeks ago, I was immediately on the phone to make sure they were okay. They were out of harm's way, but I wanted to make sure the employees no one had lost their home because a lot of them live in that area. Yeah. And they were spared. They've got a massive hotel called the Christmas Place Inn right across the street. I was want to make sure that that was okay. I had just been there. I had just been through that whole area that was burned. And I'm doing a big shout out to the Christmas Place in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, because I am going to feature them on the vlog, and I want y'all to patronize them.
Yeah, that was a horrible fire and situation.
Oh, that's my home.
And so you've been going there and buying stuff, but did you pull out the, well, I was born in Knoxville card, like I'm one of you type of thing?
Yeah, very much so. And oh, trust me, they got that real quick because I'm a big. I had just gone the week prior because I had gone to the Tennessee-Alabama game, which we won't discuss because we lost horribly. But I was also there for a wedding. But the store has what I call the SEC corner, and they have ornaments and all this kind of stuff for all the different SEC teams from Tennessee to Georgia to Florida to Alabama and LSU. But they had this whole massive table thing of just all this Tennessee stuff. So my whole segment that I did, I started singing Rocky Top. Rocky Top will always be home, sweet home to me. I did this whole thing. I had the orange T-shirt on. I was holding the orange and the Tennessee ornaments. Tennessee got a really big shout out. I mean, I was born at University of Tennessee Hospital. I was born a volunteer. So let me tell you, people go, but you didn't go there. I said, I don't have to. I bleed orange. I was birthed there.
That's the hair. Everything.
It's the hair. The
came out
bigger
of
the
the
hair,
ball.
the closer to God. You know what I'm saying? That's my motto, and more bling too.
Well, that's great. Well, now we know where to find you. That's January 3rd for the Haves and Have-Nots.
Exactly.
We know where to shop with you.
Listen, you can shop with me any day of the week. Love it. Okay.
And let's remind everyone then on social media, where can they find you if they want to?
ReneeLawless.com, Ms. Renee Lawless on Twitter, Renee Lawless on Instagram and Facebook, and that's about it, I think.
Until the next one comes along.
Exactly. Yeah, until another app comes up that I have to cram and learn.
Absolutely. And I am Zoe Hewitt. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Zoe Said What. That's Zoe Said What. You can also find me on YouTube at Zoe Hewitt Hosting, where I do a weekly movie analysis show. Thank you so much, Renee,
My
for joining
pleasure.
me. This
Thank
has been
you.
great.
Yes, it's
Have
been
a
fun.
great day, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.